Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining us. Seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can remember Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur on his glorious appearance day. And this is the Panchatattva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Advaitacharya, Gadadhar, Srivas Thakur, and then the corresponding incarnations of whom they were. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, Nityananda is Balaram, Advaita is Mahavishnu, Gadadhar, Radharani, Srivas Thakur is Narad. And these three, the Panchatattva, the Krishna, Balarama, Nityananda, Chaitanya, and Advaita are Vishnu Tattva. And who is Vrindavan Das Thakur? He is regarded to be incarnation of Srila Vyasadeva in Chaitanya Leela. He appeared as the son of Narayani and Vaikuntha Nath Vipra in 1507, so 7 years after Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He took sannyas in 1500. Narayani is the niece of Srivas Thakur, one of the Panchatattva. And Narayani is also somebody very important in Krishna Leela, a nurse, Kalimbika. And she also received immense mercy from Mahaprabhu when she lived in Srivas Thakur's house when she was little. She would be blessed with Mahaprabhu's remnants, leftovers that he had left after eating. And she also, on one occasion, danced when Mahaprabhu asked her to do so. And she was calling out to Krishna in ecstasy. And she was only 4 that time. This is the birthplace of Vrindavan Das Thakur in Mamgachi. And these are the deities in that temple. So Radha Krishna, Gadadhar. This is beautiful Radha Krishna. Mamgachi is in Drum Dweep, one of the 9 islands of Navadvip. And at the age of 16, he took shelter of the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. He's said to be the last disciple accepted by Nityananda. And once having set off from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri, they were passing a place called Denur. There, Ramahari Chakravarti served the devotees prasad happily. After taking prasadam, Nityananda Prabhu asked his servitor at that time, Vrindavan Das Thakur, "Where is my thing?" And what he meant by that was, after taking prasad, they would take some hartaki, which is like a mouth freshener, digestive. And Vrindavan Das Thakur immediately gave it to Nityananda, who was internally very happy, but externally showed anger. "Where'd you get this from so quickly?" And Vrindavan Das Thakur said, "Well, yesterday you took prasad in Navadvip and a devotee gave it to me. So I kept some for you today because I knew you would ask for it." So Nityananda said, "Oh, this hoarding things is not good. This is the householder mood. Keeping something for tomorrow is not good for brahmachari. It is not good for you. Better stay here and make a family and preach here then." So this is the arrangement of the Lord, of course. By the mercy of Nityananda, Prabhu Vrindavan Das Thakur stayed in that village to expand his preaching. Vrindavan Das Thakur stayed in Denur, installed deities of Nityananda Prabhu, Gauranga Prabhu, and served there. So these are the deities in Denur. Nitai, Gauranga Ray, and Jagannath as well. Okay. Now, he's very famous for writing. He's the author of Chaitanya Bhagavat. From an early age, Vrindavan Das was recognized as a great writer. He's Vyasadeva, after all. And in 1535, he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat, a biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Initially, the Chaitanya Bhagavat was named Chaitanya Mangal, but already a devotee poet named Lochan Das had written a book with the same name. So the leading Vaishnavas in Vrindavan decided that Vrindavan Das's book would be known as Chaitanya Bhagavat, and Lochan Das's would be known as Chaitanya Mangal. Vrindavan Das became so absorbed in the descriptions of Nityananda Prabhu, because he was a disciple of Nityananda, that he did not elaborately relate all of Mahaprabhu's activities, only summarizing them in abbreviated form. So Krishnadas Kaviraj, who wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he then elaborated on these other activities of Mahaprabhu. Scholars have written several biographies on the life of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there's the Murari Gupta's Chaitanya Charita, Chaitanya Mangal by Lochan Das, and Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And then we have, of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj. Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Chaitanya Lilete Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa, Tanra Kripa Vina, Anye Nahaya Prakasha. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur is the authorized writer on the pastimes of Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya. Without his mercy, therefore, one cannot describe these pastimes. So why was there another biography required of Mahaprabhu? Vrindavan Das Thakur hadn't covered the later pastimes of Mahaprabhu, and devotees requested Krishnadas Kaviraj to write these pastimes. He was a disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami, a confidential follower of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's one of the 6 Goswamis. Raghunath Das Goswami heard and memorized all the activities of Mahaprabhu told to him by Swarup Damodar Goswami. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vrindavan Das was primarily concentrated on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's early activities, such as his pastimes as a student, his childhood, his chastisement of the Chandakasi, departure from Navadvip, and some aspects of his life in Puri. He also has written many bhajans. I can't remember if we've sung any. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami glorifies Vrindavan Das Thakur a lot. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada would request everyone to read the Chaitanya Bhagavat, as it was mainly pastimes with little philosophy. If we look at the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that has a lot of philosophy. It has many pastimes, but also a lot of philosophy. But Chaitanya Bhagavat is just pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very sweet pastimes. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he knew that people will not be so interested in the philosophy in Bengal and Orissa. So he would encourage them to read about the sweetness of the Lord in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. But in the West, it's a little different, because here people are a little bit more interested in philosophy. They haven't got the faith, so they need the philosophy to gain the faith. So that's one of the reasons why Prabhupada translated Chaitanya Charitamrita into English rather than Chaitanya Bhagavat. Very interesting. The Vrindavan Das Thakur accompanied Janama Mata, wife of Nityananda, to Keturi Gaura Purnima festival. This is, if devotees recall, the first Gaura Purnima festival. Vrindavan Das Thakur demonstrated infinite mercy on the fallen souls. Oh yes, by warning them. Eta parihare oje papi ninda kare, tabe lathi morontar shirera upare. Even after being told how objectionable it is, if someone still blasphemes the Vaishnavas, then I will kick him in the head. This is the mercy of Vrindavan Das Thakur. These same words are repeated in the Adi, Madhya, and Antya khandas of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Some foolish and arrogant persons misunderstood such statements and criticized Vrindavan Das Thakur for having made them. Such criticism led them into the mud of offensiveness. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he's got a lot to say about this. He said, I am ready to kick the heads of those envious and hellish persons who blaspheme Nityananda Prabhu. If by so doing, I will be able to forever prevent them from repeating their attempts to show disrespect for the Supreme Lord. Not only that, but if by doing so I can bring about the conception of the truth, I will be performing them the greatest service. So says Vrindavan Das, the incarnation of Vyas and Acharya of Vaishnava faith. If even a single flake of dust should fall from his foot on the head of the sinful blasphemer, then that person will be blessed and all his sinful conditioning will inevitably be eradicated. In words which embody the goddess of learning and a flood of pure devotion, the Thakur revealed compassion for even the most atheistic blasphemer with the unswerving faith appropriate to a servant of Nityananda Prabhu, the Supreme Guru. He tells them that although they should be the object of indifference due to their foolishness, nevertheless, because of their ignorance of the truth of Nityananda and their insistence of rushing headlong on the path to hell and their reluctance to act in their own self-interest, he and other compassionate Vaishnavas like him who practice and preach the Lord's doctrines unselfishly and disinterestedly act for their welfare. This is the beauty of Vaishnavas. Even when they don't need to help anybody, they will help. Even if somebody is against the Lord or against the devotees, they will do their best to help. The compassion which is manifested in Vrindavan Das's statement is beyond the comprehension of those who have no understanding of what is truly in their self-interest. Anyone who follows in the footsteps of Vrindavan Das, the incarnation of Vyas, and both practices and preaches the Vaishnava religion, is always engaged in an effort to bring about the ultimate well-being of everyone. Though he may make a superficial show of wishing to punish the enemies of the Lord, in fact, he harbors a compassion towards them which knows no limit. So very interesting, very interesting. And I think finally at Mamagachi in Modadruma Dweep, in Navadvip, Vrindavan Das Thakur established deities of Nitai Gauranga and Sri Jagannath. He lived there as a celibate and worshipped his beloved deities. Vrindavan Das Thakur had many disciples, including Gopinath Brahmachari, a descendant of Sri Keshav Bharti. In Krishna's pastimes, Vrindavan Das Thakur is Srila Vyasadeva, and his samadhi is in the 64 samadhi area in Vrindavan. And we celebrated Disappearance Day only on 6th of May, and today, which is the 7th of June, we're celebrating his birthday, and he lived for 80 years. So that's the pastime of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And I think Riyansh isn't here. Any questions, any comments on Vrindavan Das Thakur?
Sure, Prabhu. Sitaram here.
Hare Krishna, Sitaram.
Yes, Prabhu. I want to ask you, does those places where the Vaishnava were cremated, are they visible in Vrindavan still now?
Are they what?
So the places where the bodies were cremated.
Yes.
Are that place can be found over there?
Yes, yes, they're still there. Yes. The one of the most prominent is Radha Damodar temple. When we do Parikram, there's so many samadhis of different acharyas there.
Yes.
And then there's this 64 samadhi area in Vrindavan. Yeah, that's a different area.
I don't remember if I had been gone there or what.
I can't either remember if I've been there, but that's a lot of the acharyas are there. And there's another place, Radha Kulananda.
Yeah.
There's so many of prominent acharyas there as well. Vishwanath Chakravarti, Narottam Das Thakur.
Next time when I'll be going to Vrindavan, I will ask those devotees.
64, yeah.
So just show me. I don't know if I've been there.
No, I don't think I've been there either. Very good. Yeah, good point. It's good to
remember.
Visit good to remember, good to visit them. Get their blessings. Yeah, very good. Very good point.
Mentally we must be there.
Mentally, at least, if not physically, sometimes we can try to be there, but mentally we should be there. Yeah.
That's it.
And the advantage of visiting these places is you can more than visualize.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, more than just think about it, we can actually visualize being there.
Yes.
So, yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? We were going to ask Rianj. Oh, okay, let me just stop this.